All right, Pharrell fans, we got Mafia, myself. We're going to break down an historically great start in the Golden State Warriors, 16-0. We're going to get right to it. Mafia, the question is not about going 16-0. That was a foregone conclusion when they beat the Clippers. Mm-hmm. And they have an easy schedule coming up, but that's not really the argument. The argument is, can they surpass the 1995-1996 Bulls? What do you think?
Well, you know what? First of all, you talk about the easy schedule coming up, and everyone, of course, is going to jump on that and say, hey, they're going to go 20-0, and who knows when they're going to get stopped. But you know what? Those are always the games you got to watch out for, because don't forget, the toughest game they had this year was against the pathetic Brooklyn Nets at home. So you can get trapped in those games. I mean, for me, not the next game. I think they'll win that in Phoenix on Friday, but watch out for that Sacramento game. If Boogie Cousins starts going off, that small lineup is going to have problems against him down low.
Right.
So who knows what happens against Sacramento if Rudy Gay or Rondo start going off and playing at their peak performance. They could get upset there if they fall into a lull early on. Mm-hmm. But as far as the surpassing the Bulls win total for a season, it's too premature for me to say that, to get on the bandwagon and say this is the best team ever. They're going to do this easily, because the NBA season is a long grind.
Yeah.
And granted, as good as they have been at home in Oracle the last couple seasons, once you get out on the road, things are a little tougher. They're playing in the Western Conference, which is a lot tougher. Which probably, I'd say, might be even tougher than the Bulls did in the Eastern.
But we thought it would be better than it actually is.
Yeah, but it's not like you're in Cleveland where you're playing the Eastern Conference for most of your schedule and running over teams like, the Wizards, who are not as good as they were a couple years ago. Like Atlanta, who is taking a step back. Yep. Like Miami, who is taking a step back without LeBron. The East is weak. So if it was Cleveland with this start, they'd have a lot better chance, I think, than Golden State does. I mean, granted, Luke Walton has done a great job as a head coach. I don't know if we give him credit to the players, but without Steve Kerr, they're still doing it. So when he comes back, that could also give them a boost. But in this day and age, in this grind, I know they made the schedule easier this year as far as travel and how many days you're playing in a row.
And back-to-back, yeah.
But still, I think it's so tough to say early on how a team is going to do as far as that record goes, because you don't know who starts getting injured. Mm-hmm. If Curry or Thompson goes down, you can forget that. That's going out the window. Even if guys like Draymond Green or Iguodala or some of their more important role players get hurt, that can cost them a couple games here and there as well. So while they are great, while they are a historic start, I'm still not jumping on the bandwagon yet to say that they're going to reach the Bulls' heights that they had in that season.
Right. And here's what's amazing, and I know people follow the NBA who follow our show. What they're doing is incredible for this particular reason. When the Bulls went 72-10, they had lost a very difficult series to the Orlando Magic. And that game one against the Magic, Jordan had like 4 turnovers. They were so uncharacteristic of MJ. Mm-hmm. And then they came back the next year. First of all, he made a bad movie in Space Jam. We'll talk about that another time.
Oh, it's an all-time classic. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Did you not grow up in the same era that I did? Come on.
It was no Hoosiers.
It's apples and oranges.
It was no Hoosiers.
It's apples and oranges.
I mean, it wasn't exactly Miracle or Rudy. But what's amazing is the Warriors already won a championship. Jordan needed to prove something. Pippen needed to prove something. Rodman, who people forgot about. I know he was with the Spurs, but as far as being a legit contender, they never were. So Rodman needed to prove something. Phil Jackson needed to prove something, that the 3 championship reign in the early 90s wasn't a fluke. Now, that's what's so amazing about the Warriors. Now, here's why I bring that up. Because we are seeing such motivation from these guys. And for them to be the reigning champions, to go 16-0, to have that motivation in a back-to-back year, where we know repeating as NBA championships is a lot harder than winning your first one. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, the fact that they are in their mid to late 20s, now Iguodala's 31, but the other guys are mid to late 20s.
Right.
So they have a lot of fresh legs on that team. 12 of those guys who have come back were on the team last year.
That's the easier of the picks to me.
No, it's not.
Yes,
wait a minute. It's never been done before. 72 has been done before. 16-0 in the NBA playoffs.
You're saying in the playoffs? Okay.
In the playoffs, yeah, 16-0. I'm talking about the real 16-0.
Yes. That one's a lot iffier to me then.
Mafia, Steph Curry is better. Draymond Green is better. Harrison Barnes is better. They're better this season. Steph Curry, like you've said it before many times, he's playing defense now. Right? Draymond Green hasn't
more on the defensive end.
Sure, he's averaging over 5 rebounds a game, I believe. That's a big step up from what he did last year. Draymond Green is better. And good for him with the contract he signed to then have the motivation he has had this season. Harrison Barnes is averaging 15 a game. He was averaging like 9 for his whole career. Thompson, if anyone, has taken a step back. But he's his shots have diminished. Bogut looks healthy for the first time in years. Iguodala hasn't lost a step. Mm-hmm. Livingston is such a good boost off the bench. Barbosa is such a steady veteran, such a presence on that team. Festus is, Festus for the rest of us. I mean, he's great, and we got to give Kirk credit, because when he comes back, they're not going to miss a beat, and that's because a lot of what they're doing was it was installed in 2014.
Right, it's put in place, right?
Yeah.
I think you're a little crazy with the 16 now. But first of all, they do have motivation, because just because you win a championship, you can't get fat and happy, and that's it. Don't forget, this is a team that people said after they won that championship that, you didn't play the Spurs. You played a lot of people that were hurt.
They played the team that beat the Spurs.
You lost to the Cavs. You lost 2 games to the Cavs, and all they had was LeBron. So people said that there were people that were saying it was, that it might be a fluke. I wasn't. But there were people not giving them enough credit because they were champions. Despite their championship, they were still not giving them all the respect they deserved. So this start definitely had some motivation behind it. But as far as the 16-0 in the playoffs, I definitely can't see that happening, because it's so hard to win the playoffs, especially, again, being in the Western Conference, which is better, which is more loaded. You don't know who's going to be hurt, who's going to be healthy, if you're going to have the full complement of players. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, every now and then you might, if you get up in a series, if you're up 3-0, maybe you slack off, you lose one. I don't see them going into the playoffs.
I'm surprised because Mafia's not an NBA guy. No, I'm kidding. He is. He actually follows all sports.
I'm an everything guy.
You're an everything guy.
Jack of all trades.
Exactly. Speaking of everything, Mafia's going to be here tomorrow, Friday, so make sure to check out his videos. The guy always brings it. He knows his sports, guys. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving watching this, and thanks so much for being great fans. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.